start recording.
Where's Dane's
Paladine
beautiful
will-
voice?
Dane,
I have
where
yet
are
to
you?
hear.
Yeah,
I have
Dane,
yet
where
to
are you,
hear
Dane?
his beautiful, beautiful voice.
Dane! Uh-oh.
You put a square around everything.
Pastram.
No, that's me.
You did?
Deli meat.
Damn.
Deli meat. That's the new title. Deli meat. Burning eyeball. Hello.
What?
Are you trying to text the speech device? Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. It worked. How long have you been working on that?
About 5 seconds.
Meat shields. Alright, I don't know if we need to classify them like that.
Keyleth has classified them appropriately.
Okay.
Wait, is Confidence in that group?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
He
Scott
separated him
Confidence is
beforehand.
Separated.
Wow.
Keyleth, before doing his mental like categorization of people, separated confidence.
I also don't think this should be in the specifically meat shield section.
That's the most important meat shield.
It is the most important meat shield.
It's
that
not
is.
a meat shield, it's a metallic shield.
Yeah, but it's the thought that counts.
That's fair. You
Did
know
you
what?
know that
Fair.
vegetables don't actually exist? They're just plants. Chefs made up the idea of vegetables. I don't know how
I'm
this
pretty
relates.
sure there's
God.
some inherent qualities that have
There
scientifically led to the.
There isn't. Botanists say they're
classification.
all just plant parts.
Does that mean there's not fruit either?
Fruit are
Yeah,
like
fruit
plant
are-
ovaries.
Yeah, fruit are just plant parts as well. Chefs made up the categorization for various reasons, and there's ways to extrapolate nutritional value from that, but there is no definite categorization that strictly like categorizes all of that in a well. There's no way to I forget the term for it. Whenever you categorize something based upon its features, I don't know.
No, but yeah, there are.
So
no
you're saying
They're just plants.
that raspberries are a vegetable?
No, there are no
No.
vegetables.
No, I'm saying raspberries are a plant part. The only reason they're not categorized as vegetables is because chefs decided they weren't.
Aren't vegetables roots?
No.
No, broccolis are flowers. Just to name an example. Just
This is true. Yeah. All right. Who wants to play some D&D right now?
I've already started recording. This is all in the recording, baby.
All right.
When did you start
Baby.
A
recording?
bit ago.
Hmm.
Actually, I have the time. 3 minutes ago.
Oh, 3 minutes
OMG.
ago. Okay.
All right. So last time, guys, you took on the mighty Santa Claus.
The claws.
The Claw. And now you are setting off on your first day.
I
Venturing.
feel like we did the world a service today.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like we're the good guys.
Yeah, maybe. At the very least, it won't matter when you go back home.
Yep.
Not like you'll have Yuletide there. It's Frankie and his future family that'll suffer.
No. He'll regenerate by next Christmas. That's fine.
You don't know that.
We literally know that. You alluded to it.
No. Well, now I take it back. Well, anyways, you are given the mission by King Brunor himself that you are to work with the Zentarum. You will be traveling east across the surface for about 180 miles before heading into a secret tunnel that leads into the Underdark itself, where you will go further east until you hit Mantle Dareth. You are supposed to meet up with a Gazrim Dulac, for he has a map that will lead you, or a key that will lead you to the infamous Graven Hollow Library, created by the Stone Giants long ago, and it supposedly records everything about the Underdark. So this
Idiot. Giants can't write.
Yes, they can. Just in giant, which is barely the language.
Wow. giant racism here.
I'm getting into character. I'm sorry.
Keyleth
So, yeah.
Keyleth has been like this one.
That's true. That doesn't make it great, okay?
It's never been okay from the start. Keyleth has absolutely not been okay.
What are you talking about? Keyleth's been the best and most normal guy.
Well, Keyleth's been the best.
I need to look up travel times and shit again.
Foolish. I will point and laugh at you.
Alright, you could just help me.
Simply do this before D&D, forehead.
That would require me to do things a DM would do.
Yeah, I never prepped before I would DM'd either.
This is why I have a book that does all these things for me. Or at least it's
I didn't
supposed
have a
to.
book.
Okay, so you're on the surface, so at least it's not like a, like a slow, delayed kind of pace of travel.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be traveling as your general group, the whole party that you have, fairly safely on the surface. It's a 24 miles a day you can do at a normal pace.
Yep.
So how many days? 180 divided by 24. How many days is that?
So it's about
120
four days
24,
per,
you said?
Yeah. It's about 4 days per 100 miles, give or take.
Okay, so it'd be like 4.5 days or something like that, more or less.
No, it would be closer to 8 days, but it's less than 8 days. I think it's probably 7 days.
7.5.
Yeah, 7.5 days.
Okay.
We have a math guy here. Math man, why aren't you doing math?
Man.
Because I do it 9 hours a day.
Yeah.
Do it
That's
more.
fair. He's in D&D.
No.
This is why he plays D&D, a game that has no math.
What's the equation?
We already got it.
We already got it. Sorry.
It was 180 divided by 24, but well, something a calculator can do and doesn't need to tax your
Gross
mind.
equation.
For just the sake of brevity, you will be traveling under the horrible sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie,
Sucks.
this is your moment to drink in that sunlight because
Say goodbye.
having experienced the Underdark for several long months, you will not even see a glimpse of it. You have a whole retinue of NPCs if you would like to interact with them at all. They're mainly just here so that they can take on shit that you don't want to.
Yeah, I think the best I got is that I don't avoid them. If they talk to me, I talk back normally. But I do not engage in conversation. I do not start a conversation ever.
Right. I will point out, apparently there is now a new downtime option available for you.
Really?
While in the Underdark, you can create outposts.
Hmm.
Let me find where it talks about outposts. That is important. Is it in a different fucking chapter? Because they like to do. Yeah, it is. So new downtime activity: establishing an outpost. An outpost requires a total of 150 hours of work to build. You basically need to find a cave, compound island, or some hard to reach ledge. But you can use these as safe havens. There we go. Throughout the Underdark, or kind of use them to become points of travel to get reinforcements or send out your men. You will have to leave some men there to guard it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, it's a thing you can do. So for the first time, just before you're about to reach the entrance of the Underdark, I'll you kind of take a moment, realizing in some of your cases, you're going back home, essentially, away into an environment but also know to be incredibly hazardous. Frankie, how do you feel about going back in?
Well, he's reluctant,
Hmm.
but he's confident he won't die.
Okay.
And that's all that matters.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Good. Before you were scavengers in the Underdark, desperate to escape the madness in there, escape your drow captors. But now you're heading back, more stocked than you've ever been, with an entire expeditionary force at your back. After about 7.5 days, you'll take the rest of the day to kind of camp outside of this seemingly normal looking cave, except for the fact that they are thick black network sentry kind of guarding it, almost under this disguise of them being bandits, maybe calling this cave their home. But from your Zentarum party, they explain that this is one of their secret entrances into the Underdark itself. But after 7.5 days, you're taking the afternoon and kind of the night to just rest up safely one last time. You guys are
Did
kind
you
of
find
sitting.
anything about that outpost? Because I am actually pretty interested in
Yeah, I put it in
seeing
the
what that
Discord.
requires. Oh,
Yeah, I put it in the
I'm
Discord.
just done.
Okay. Do you want me to explain it to you again?
No.
Okay. You guys are kind of sitting by a campfire outside of like a bigger tent than I guess all the others. Ones that you are clearly for you all as the sort of commanding leaders of this expeditionary force. You have your various factions kind of grouping up themselves with their own tents, and the Emerald Enclave is kind of taking the role of being the stable masters when they're not scouting ahead. And this will probably change once they're in the Underdark itself, but they're kind of caring for all the giant riding lizards. Keyleth, it's up to you if you want them to take care of Confidence, or if you want to handle him yourself.
I'm handling my boy myself.
Alright. But you're all sitting by a nice, like, one of many campfires outside of a cave. Anything you'd like to discuss before going to bed and heading into the dark, cold Underdark?
Is there anything we need to prepare before we go?
Yes, all of these humans we're taking with us. No, and surfacers. If any of them aren't human, I haven't really been looking that much.
A lot of dwarves.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, they'll know the Underdark well enough. I'm talking about the ones that aren't used to a cave system. Well, even the dwarves aren't going to be prepared for the wilds of the Underdark. We're going to need to prep them, and by prep them I mean make it clear to all of them that, well, me and Rogi particularly know our way around the Underdarks, and the rest of you have had the wonderful experience of traveling with us, and Ghundra and Thodane have naturally lived in the Underdark your whole lives, but the rest of these people we're taking down with us are completely out of their depth, quite literally. We need
Hmm.
to make it clear that they follow our orders and our suggestions more than their own logic, because their logic will no longer apply once we get deep enough.
I'm sure they'll learn through experience very quickly.
Learning through experience often means death. We can avoid that if possible.
Or let it
Indeed.
happen, either way.
I think that will make the job harder.
He
We
just
should
points
try
at Rogi.
to preserve their lives.
Unfortunately, I agree.
Plus, the more people survive, the more people get to come meld after this. I've already made arrangements to do so, so we should try to keep as many of them alive
One
as
of the
possible.
veteran of the guard members kind of stops and kind of looks at you and then continues moving with his like plate of food.
think he wants to meld.
Just gives you a very concerned and like, what? Kind of look and keeps going. This one being Elias Draco.
Rogi smiles and waves at him.
Just kind of cautiously waves back before moving to talk, like sit with the other veteran guard.
You'll like it, I promise.
Stop taking his attention. We should probably discuss what happens if traveling in such a large group attracts a demon lord towards one of us.
Oh, it will,
Indeed.
and we'll probably have to face paranoia, mutiny, uprisings, backstabbings. I mean, surfacers. With the month I've been here, I've learned that they're not inclined to such behavior, but the influence of a demon lord will bring on such behavior.
An army.
And also just general insanity
we
and
have
madness. I mean, the rest
So-
of us had our own hard enough time keeping our heads
Yes.
on straight.
Indeed. But at least for me, it took a while to understand that anything had changed. Some of the ways in which corruption can happen are subtle. Is there a line that we should talk about? Should we do everything the same way that we did when we encountered them last time? Run? Try to avoid if we can? Or should there be a specific way we go about doing things if we encounter another?
It's
I mean, what do you want to do? Go up and talk to them?
No, definitely not that.
To
Like-
be honest, I can't think of anything to do but run.
Well, if we reach a certain level of madness from any of these beings, should we do anything about that?
there won't be a whole lot.
If
we
they're
can-
dangerous to the mission, we'll kill them off.
Including one of the 4 of us? 5 of us?
Rogi, if you come at me with a knife, I'll do my best to incapacitate you,
Well,
but I will kill you to save myself, and I expect you to do the same if I were to suddenly attack you for no reason.
oh, of course. But what if it is more subtle than that? Like last time, I at least just got very violent and angry at things that I did not usually notice.
I mean,
And I
I
don't know
didn't
what
have a
would have
problem with
happened if
either
it
of
got
that.
worse.
Either of you having that behavior. It didn't really affect us negatively as far as I could see.
Are there any kinds of things that we worry that would happen that would? Are there any signs we should look out for?
I don't think we can prepare for this sort of thing.
Okay.
Not in any specific detail. If people act
It
strange,
seems
we
to
quarantine
stand
them
out.
and then see if we can live with it.
I mean, what do you
is-
want to do? Create like a secret code?
Quick question, Gundra.
Mhm.
How has he been throughout the entire trip so far?
Ghundra has been like a little tense about this. He is.
At the very least, tell me how outwardly he's looking.
He gets like these little bits where he's just like very focused. He's changed his clothing a little bit. He now has this like he now has traveler's clothes on, which mostly involves like this poncho that seems to have a custom symbol for medicine on its back, just so people know that he can heal people. It does cover his face a bit, but you can kind of see his eyes, and he'll just stare in the middle distance a lot, just thinking about things.
Okay, Rogi, I want you to make an insight check on Gundra. And Gundra, if you would like, you can make a deception check.
Okay.
Whatever you want to make.
You want me to make it an insight check and not use my passive insight?
What is your passive insight? I keep getting it.
18.
Oh, okay. Then Gundra, you go ahead and just roll.
All right.
Like, what's this?
Honestly,
I want this mask of. Okay. Yeah, just you can
Oh,
message you can message Gavin, or you could just outwardly say kind of the inner thoughts of Gundra.
I will
that he feels
say
appropriate.
Gundra has Gundra. Whenever Gundra is distracted, it is about something else. If you can talk to him about it is interruptive to talk to him about other like things that are relevant to this mission. Even this, he seems to be having some other. Even talking about the demon lord and stuff, he seems to have some other process in the back of his mind, just like running off.
Oh, okay. Rogi's gonna say something, but quick question, DM. When we got our madness cured, do we know what spell was cast on us?
Greater restoration, I think.
I mean, you would have to
I
ask
think they
that.
would say that, right?
Probably, unless
Well,
you just
actually,
take
yeah. It was. I think the best we can intuit that it was powerful magic.
Mm-hmm.
If they did.
Okay.
It's some sort of divine shit. You're not really that familiar with it. I imagine, especially with a lot of drow priestesses, they're not really casting greater restoration.
Not often.
Well,
at the very
yeah.
least. God.
Kind
they,
of-
You'd be
they
surprised.
they cast a harm, and even their healing spells inflict pain, even though they don't inflict harm.
Yeah,
It's a
I
little fun thing from the
Before
novels.
that's fun,
before
actually.
I left,
Mhm.
before we left the dwarven area, then, could Rogi have bought some spell components since he can now cast Greater Restoration?
Yes, anything. If there's something, I'm also just of the mind, because you've had such a long time to be on the surface and in such a place like Gauntlegrim, we can retroactively say you've bought things with the money you have.
Cool. I'm using 500 of my gold to buy ground diamond dust then.
Okay, I thought you did, but that might have been for something else.
I bought a actual separate diamond for something else.
That's it. That's what
Mhm.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and just throw that in there.
Cool. Rogi will mention as we're talking then that very recently I have learned how to reverse these madnesses myself through something that I was taught while melding. So, if we do get into that problem, we can fix it at least 5 times.
It's reassuring.
That's good.
So, Ghundra, what is wrong? Or what are you thinking of? These topics you are usually not so calm through. Are we interrupting you?
No, I'm just thinking about the logistics of attempting to attack and kill a demon lord, and it's we might be able to do it, but we would lose like 90% of our force and probably one of us. And I was thinking about suggesting it, but
Well, we shouldn't
Insight
be too.
check.
yeah, go ahead.
Ooh.
That's a 19. I have a passive deception of 10,
Oh.
so I'm just gonna say, he was thinking about that as well.
Is that information?
he 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 has this he's distracted. He has this other thing. Ghundra, I feel like, has a lot of things running, like a lot of different things running in his mind at once, and he bounces between them to try to like logistic things out. You can tell the difference between him singularly focused on something and splitting that through 2 or maybe even 3 topics, and he is currently definitely still in I have extra things on my mind mode.
All right. Well, then, if it will take out most of our forces, is it even worth?
He waves his hand dismissively, like, just no, it's not.
Okay. Well, all right.
It's just, we need to think of all options in case we're trapped and forced to pick a bad one. I'm going to go rest for as long as I can. It's going to be a big day. I suggest giving them, gestures to the people outside, a wide overview of things. Don't get into specifics, just say, don't split up. Don't a lot of Underdark creatures like to use deception, so distrust your
A
first
safety
thought.
disclaimer.
Keyleth just kind of stands up and puts his hand on Gundra's shoulder. Go rest. I know what to say to soldiers.
He he pats the hand a little bit and goes into a little side area.
Wow, that's some good character growth. He patted his hand affectionately.
Wow. Um.
Don't
Look, these are big steps for a drow.
don't
Yeah.
give me that look. Don't.
um. As once Gundra gets out of earshot, Rogi will say to the others, mostly talking to Keluth, is Gundra does not seem himself. Well, he seems himself just more distracted than normal.
He's a wizard. They're always planning something insane.
I turned to Thodane. Is that true? Are you always thinking about something insane?
Well, I suppose it depends on your definition of insane.
What a
But
wizard
usually their
answer.
insanity does not get in the way of planning.
You see, most people are afraid of wizards because of the secrets that they seek to understand. And the fact that they do not understand scares them. So, yes, I suppose. We're always
Keyleth
up to
just
something
kind of
crazy.
What I am trying to understand is this a wizard thing? Is this a drow thing? Or is something wrong with Gundra?
Oh no, something is definitely troubling him.
There's nothing wrong with Gundra.
I don't
check.
know
Well-
what it is, but
Inside checking that Keluth.
he seems
Insight checking Keyleth.
For saying there's nothing wrong with me.
What do I want to roll for that? I guess I need to think of whether or not Keyleth
I mean-
believes what he said.
Feel free to roll.
be
a-
more
uh,
concerned if there was
Just
nothing
roll,
wrong
you could
with
just roll
you.
charisma, yeah. Or it could just be deception, trying to hold like a.
I don't think you would have gotten anywhere.
There's nothing
Does-
wrong with Gundra inherently if you take him out of the context of being a drow, but from Keyleth's perspective, there's Gundra's troubled. He's not
Nothing like wrong with him.
Okay, but Keluth. But, okay, Rogi can tell that Keluth thinks that Gundra is troubled.
Yeah, but I don't think Rogi would see anything different from what he's normally seen. Like,
Okay.
Keyleth always thinks Gundra's troubled, and he's not going to admit that to outsiders. But that's kind of a general sort of opinion of Gundra that Keyleth slightly has, that he's consistently had even before the surface.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well then-
Gundra's always been a little weird, even
Yeah,
for drow. So
but there's something
That's what it is. Gundra's not a typical drow.
Gundra's a soft
Well-
boy in a hard boy world. Don't repeat that.
Exactly, and that makes Keyleth uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But he's not going to admit that to people he shouldn't be soft to.
Well then Rogi will say, well, I can see, well, I think that Gundra, at minimum, is not his best. And if we are
To be honest, Rogi, I
indeed-
don't think he wants to be down here. I don't know why, but he doesn't want to come home. I mean, it's understandable. Home, when you have a unambitious matron, can be quite dreary.
Well,
He's lacking in ambition. And
That is
I feel like that's
fair,
making
but
him not want to come home.
oh, I don't really think that any of us necessarily have to go back to the lives that we had before all of this once this is done.
You don't miss
Grogi
it.
kind of gestures. Look at it all. I'm not saying that I don't miss it. I came back. I am more than happy to go back to what I had and I intend to, but he kind of gestures around to everything. I don't think we have to if it is not what we want. There is a kind of respect that these surface folk have for us that I don't think most people do. But at the
Well,
very
we've
least, all of
simply
you are
earned it
welcome
for
to
them.
come live with me with the mushrooms if you wish, though I don't
Absolutely
get the impression
not.
most of you want.
And at this,
Yes.
Keyleth stands up and walks away.
Okay, wait, Keyleth. Either I'm going to talk to Ghundra or you will. Okay, I'll do it. No worries. It's okay. All right.
Rogi's precious. Have I ever said that? Rogi's absolutely precious.
Absolutely.
And does not deserve the rest of this party. And by the rest of this party, I do mean Keyleth.
Oh. Wait, are you still gonna give them a speech? Okay, well, we'll see how that
Just
goes.
in the distance, you hear, "Listen up!"
Okay, well, I'm gonna go
Keyleth
make sure
gives
this
us-
doesn't go badly.
Okay. With a rousing speech after an evening dinner, you wake up in the morning.
Oh, wait.
hmm?
I'm not ready for the morning yet.
Oh, okay, okay. No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Well, two things. One, if Keyleth is giving a speech to them, Rogi will not interrupt the speech, but does want to, while we have everyone gathered, just kind of give them a rundown of general flora and fauna, just to kind of point out and demonstrate what gas spores are, what the
Okay.
screeching mushrooms are, give them just a kind of basic understanding of Underdark ecology.
Okay.
I think Ghundra, Keyleth focuses more on tracking abilities and the different types of claw marks of different beasts and like typical ambushes and beast layers to look out for.
Are we all together? Did you guys leave to go do that?
We
I
left to
mean-
go do that, but you could follow us.
I mean, they're also not that far.
Yeah,
This
I
is
feel
a
like
camp.
left is like walk 20 feet away.
Like, look
Well,
at
if
the
it's
amount of people.
possible,
This is the amount of people we have is a Boy Scout camp. So you can just stand
Yeah.
in the center and say this, and you're done.
Yeah.
well, assuming I'm with you, I would probably say that Thodane would assist by, I don't know, maybe describing some common arcane occurrences, whether that's
Yeah, the Ferrises.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ferris
like,
is
good idea.
important. God.
yeah,
Yeah, just give a brief rundown about phase res and how.
yeah,
Can
just
be
some of the
dangerous,
basics that are really vital.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just say you go over, especially a lot to the people in the tracking field. Well, you give them a lot of. Aquila really talks to them, Emerald Enclave, and maybe like the Lord's Alliance by just explaining certain attributes and common Underdark threats and what to kind of look out for. Keelu kind of giving Rogi giving a brief rundown on basic dangerous fauna and mostly mushroom wildlife that they need to look out for. Like, don't eat this one if it looks like that.
And Rogi will
Yeah.
definitely tell them about, since most of them don't have dark vision, screechers, and how they're light sensitive.
Well, actually, there's a chunk of them that are. Most of them are dwarves.
There's some humans though, right?
Yeah,
There's a
enough
few
humans.
human.
There's enough
There's a
humans.
few
Do all
for
the
this to be
humans in
important.
our party have the rose glasses or whatever?
The what?
That's an item in a first edition campaign. I meant any sort of dark vision goggles.
No.
We're going to be traveling with Torchlight for a while. I think a
Yeah.
good thing to mention is, hey, when we say cut the lights, just do it. Don't even don't even
Yeah.
hesitate.
All right. Have you guys thought about what kind of formation you guys want to set up beforehand?
You probably
I
don't
would
wanna
think
long
Keyleth
strip.
takes point.
Mhm.
You want to be up there in the front?
That or the back.
I think Keeluth or Rogi should be the point or rear guard people.
One thing I've
And
definitely seen
I think
that's
having a riding lizard up in point, because that allows for, I believe
thing-
riding lizards can scale, like, sides and ceilings, right? They have
They
a
can,
climb
yeah,
speed.
yeah.
Yeah.
one thing I've definitely seen.
Oh, wait, everybody
people...
has riding lizards now. Never mind.
No, I mean everyone in your main party, yes, and
And then
the
a
Emerald
couple
Party.
extras outside
Yeah.
of that.
Well, I mean, Gavin suggested Rogi being in front. I was like, no, we need someone in the riding lizard. And I'm like, wait, Rogi has a riding
Yeah,
lizard.
Rogi
It
has a
could be
riding
either
lizard.
of us. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think whoever's taking point should scout ahead with the Emerald Enclave scouts.
Mm-hmm.
4 eyes better than 1.
Some formations I've seen online is kind of like a ring that kind of consists of where your various scouts will be, and then like a secondary one with the rest of the group kind of surrounding,
Mm-hmm.
and then the main party, you guys, being at the center with maybe like a lieutenant or two, and that way, if something does come in, like that the scouts notice, they can determine if, I don't know, like it's a threat worth taking on or something's in the way. They can report it back to the main group. The main group and their lieutenants can decide, oh, we'll just fight this opponent off.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's something big, I don't know, like a demon of some kind, they go straight to you guys. Be like, there's a demon up ahead.
That sounds good.
Like-
Thanks to
Like that's one I've seen, but you definitely don't have to do that.
which Lord Alliance
Good,
member do you want to say gave us this suggestion?
Oh yeah, there we go. We will give it to Kirasil, Mantlehorn.
Is that a Lord's Alliance? I thought that was a...
No, these are Lord's Alliance cards.
Which
Or-
one's...
I can't
Okay.
find
Oh,
Mantlehorn.
He's down at the very bottom.
Okay.
Just a normal guardsman, essentially, but
Yeah, he's just been doing this sort of thing for a while. He has previous experience with larger groups.
mm-hmm.
So these really low, like, normal guardsmen guys, are they staying in the middle?
That's up to you
Because
guys.
I
they
think
have,
they
like,
should.
super low
I
HP.
think they
Like, these are
should.
the scouts. No, these are paladins. These are the scouts.
Yeah, those are the scout. These guys can be in the center second ring, but like kind of just trudging behind. I think they have better perception. So they should be able to catch if anything's coming up behind us.
You guys should be able to see their step blocks.
Yeah. I don't want to open things though. I just want to guess.
That's fine.
I'm gonna open things.
uh,
Lord Alliance Spy.
I don't think we
That's
got
these guys
their-
in the white hats.
yeah. Yeah, they got +6
They have
to
a
perception.
15 dex. Yeah.
+6 to perception. The spies being towards the back, kind of being a secondary protection from being caught from behind. Scouts being in that outer ring, I think, is good. Keeluth
Good.
might want to stick with them, or Rogi, depending on who wants to just hang out with them for a while to kind of get
All the
them used.
Zentarum thugs are in the middle ring, right?
Yeah, well, along with the guards, probably. I think like they just
Mhm.
intersperse between each other. The Shield Guardian is in the middle with us, mostly just because I think it should just follow me since I control it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I don't
Um,
like is having all of our eggs in one basket in like this super vital like inner part. I think it would be better to have like 2 separate little circles.
Okay.
Like have a group, like if we were moving say in that direction, we would have
Right.
like a group of people here and a group of like core party members here, with maybe like the Shield Guardian in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so kind of like this.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Since the Alliance veterans they're probably some of our most hardy meat shields, right?
Oh, absolutely. Aside from the Shield Guardian, it's basically your toughest
Yeah.
guy.
Do we want them on the outer ring protecting everyone with Rogi, or do we want them
How many?
kind of on the
How
inside,
many do we have?
the inner ring
Scouts?
Yeah,
protecting
5
the
of 'em.
core? Yeah, we got
Scouts.
five.
We have 5 of them. I would have them in the very inner core.
Scouts are more
More,
effective.
okay.
Scouts are more effective whenever they're not seen by the thing they're
The
scouting.
scouts, yeah, and the scouts are probably going to be like maybe like a mile ahead, maybe even a mile and a half.
How's your
Like-
stealth, Keyleth?
Youth stealth, probably less than Rogies, but
You can move these tokens around too.
plus 12.
Like if you need to
Oh,
move these tokens to
We
kind
have the
of
same
organize.
stealth then.
Oh,
Scouts got a
Yeah.
+5.
yeah. If you need to move the tokens to kind of help orient,
Yeah, I was about
You're
to
gonna
orient them
do-
around and have us all.
I think
the main
Um,
idea of the expeditionary force is mainly to help you guys get to where you're going without you guys having to fight and deal with every fucking encounter that might come along.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like there might be some random encounters I throw that if you guys maybe role playing as, your troops, so to speak, can just kind of take them and make them fight whatever encounters up ahead.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
But since
Can-
you guys are
Daniel,
the
can you
players,
move this token up to the front, like so it's above the Wojak?
oh yeah, nope, that was to the back again.
You move him to the front and then push him back one layer so it's
Yeah,
behind
hold
the.
on, just did that.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
As much as I love the Wojak.
He's getting in the way.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'll fix it too.
I mean, those ones are easier to see where they are.
I'm just fixing it anyway.
Or you can just move him back, that's fine.
Damn you, Wojak! I'm gonna get my coals cooking and making a bowl of hookah while you guys are
Isn't that the funny
doing
horse?
this. Horse.
What does everybody think about this?
I like that.
And then,
Where do we want us?
yeah, that was the next question I was about to ask. I'm down for
I think
anything.
either you or I should be with the scouts. scouting
Yeah, one
ahead.
of us should be in the front, and one of us should be in the back. I don't know. Rogi, do you have a bow and arrow? That's functioning. I know you have ranged magic, don't you? As a druid.
He had
Yeah, I've got Chill Touch
Okay.
and Thorn Whip, and then a few other ones. I also do believe that I have I've got some javelins, yeah.
Because outside of like a crossbow,
Oh,
he
yeah, I've got
doesn't
a
have any
Buckload of
ranged.
javelins.
So it might be better for you to be in the front? Question mark.
Yeah,
With
perfect.
Keyleth dealing with anything. The only thing is Keyleth is more tanky and can take more hits. So
I think Frankie
Yeah.
should be in the back.
When you
'cause
both
Vinny-
towards the
Rogi's-
front, would be the
Rogi's-
worst.
Pretty hardy, so.
do we want Keyleth and Gundra in the back, and then Thodane, Rogi, and Frankie in the front, or do we want? I'm trying to divide the squishies because Keyleth is literally the only non-caster now.
And Rogi's. Oh, yeah, everyone. Well, I guess Rogi is the least squishy of the casters, huh?
Yeah, Rogi's the least squishy of the casters. So I don't know if you. I was thinking power and numbers, so putting either. So I think
I want to point out.
Thodane and
technically,
Gundra
everyone-
are like skill wise interchangeable.
Technically, everyone is a caster. Everyone can't cast spells.
Well,
That's
yeah,
true,
but
but
Keelu spells
Keyleth just has
dancing
inherent
lights.
drow magic.
It's like Keelu's casting dancing lights when he feels bored. That's not the same as fucking
No.
Keyleth's
evoking a
casting darkness when he feels bored. Let's get that clear.
Okay.
Now on some poor peasants who don't deserve it.
Oh God.
got in a fight in a bar, just fucking darkness the entire interior.
Absolutely.
Carefully
you guys,
memorize the
God.
way to the door.
Well, everybody started screaming.
Like you hear chairs break, it's like get that little piece of shit.
So Thodane, do you want to be in the back with Keyleth or in the front with Rogi? And what about you, Frankie
I'll
and
be in the back
Gundra?
with you,
I just kind
Keyleth.
of Thodane wants to be in the back with Keyleth. What about Gundra?
I honestly don't care.
Gundra wants to be on the shoulders of the shield guardian at all times.
I mean, I don't need to, but he can carry
Too
me.
late.
Where do you want to be, Frankie? In the front or in the back? Or
Right
in the middle? Right in the middle with the shield guardian. All right.
I can tell him to drop you at any moment. You do realize this. He obeys my commands. He taps the commands jewel thing.
Why would you make him attack me?
Not attack you, just do not carry you.
What? He's not carrying me.
You have a giant riding lizard at your disposal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that Frank.
Don't you want to be
he's
with
riding
your
lizards a
family
little bit
member
buffer
in
than
the
the rest
back
of them.
or whatever? He's. You do whatever. You be whatever you want. I'll be in the back.
Yee.
So Thodane, Gundra, and Keyleth all up in the back. With confidence.
The dance.
I think they're more like around here, but
Yeah,
I
like in
think
the
they're
center
too
of
big.
everything, but we're far too large to consider that. Here is your lizard,
You
sir.
can't shrink yourself down, probably.
No, we can't. That's impossible.
Nope. I can turn my token, but I cannot shrink it.
All right.
All right. I think we're good.
All right. So this is your layout.
Mm-hmm.
Thodane, move.
I
Oh, I
get
have to physically move.
to move your lizard for you. You have
Come to us,
space here.
Thodane.
Oh wait, you're going in back. That's right. Come over here.
Now, assume you're not just alone in the back. You also have all these other.
Yeah.
How many people are in the back with you? The real question. Which of these guys?
I think
So this
this
dude's
cluster.
in. This dude is dead middle. Shield Guardian's
Yep.
dead middle. So like, all these bros are in the back, and then we're kind of like right in this little triangle of
Okay.
alliance guards, and then I think these guys in the Rogi's up with the scouts, and then Frankie's right here, and then Keyleth is within 5 feet of both wizards.
Okay.
Both soft boy wizards on guard duty.
All right. All right. How? I guess this is probably up to Rogi. How is kind of a scout communication to the rest of the group gonna go?
Keyleth, previously during the speech, taught basic drow hand signs for communication.
Wow. Really?
No,
Like
not the good ones.
basic, not the good ones,
Not the
or
good ones.
even the ones that initiate communication, but just like squadron tactics. Those ones.
Yeah, the ones that Gundra
The
has
basic
used
like
twice.
move up, forward, hold, enemy, and then like types of enemy like beast,
I never
demon.
get to say this, but I genuinely don't think Gundra knows a lot of those signs. He just never had to learn them directly. He was taught them, but he never really internalized it.
Question to you, Dan.
Yeah.
So I thought about it really hard, and I did reluctantly take the Druid Craft cantrip.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
It says you can instantly make a flower blossom, a seed pod open, a leaf bud bloom. It doesn't mention anything about mushrooms or anything.
I'll
but
count it as part of mushrooms.
cool. Then another thing that can be done is Rogi can leave traces with druidcraft of different colors of mushrooms to indicate, like, we went this way, or be prepared up ahead, or something like that.
Yeah. The only thing is, it seems like you do have to have spores for that, but I'll say because you're a circle of spore druid, that's not a problem.
Have to have. Oh, right, yeah.
Because it doesn't just make the thing; it just makes that thing bloom.
Yes, that was one
Have
thing.
to figure out the spores that are gently laying in your hair, which ones they
Mhm.
are, and separate them and organize them
Yes.
by color.
I'll say you're a circle of spores druid. This is kind of your thing. I will just tack that on.
Why, thank you.
Yeah. So basically, what you want to do? So you're gonna leave signs that say like red mushroom, we went left. Blue mushroom, we went right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Black mushroom. We suspect demons ahead.
Heck, and Attack on Titan.
I would recommend, like, if you do encounter an enemy, you should just wait for the rest of the group to reach the enemy.
No,
Mhm.
no.
The idea is you would send somebody back to tell them.
Impossible.
That way it's like, oh, black mushroom. Oh god, he's right here.
Rogi will also again mention that he has the ability to summon Stool, and may send Stool back to you
So
guys.
do I. You're not special.
To
Also, is your what's going on with your
Poop
health, Rogi?
Jokes.
what do you mean?
Got that plus going on, but I don't know why.
Oh, I know why.
I was.
I didn't update it after I leveled up.
Oh, I thought it would just. Hold on, is something wrong with your token then? I need to fix. Oh yeah, it is. I got you. I got you.
No, thank you.
I just didn't set it up right. I think this is like an old token I copied over and just didn't alter as I should have.
No worries.
I was just like, what the hell's going on with this token? Been fine so far.
And
It should be
whenever we get the chance, Rogi does want to talk to Ghundra and try to get him somewhat alone, either in the morning or at night before we rest.
Night's
Okay.
probably better.
Mm-hmm.
When?
Night. One,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a glare, and he's a little bit more pissy. Two, most people are asleep, and it's easier to be alone.
Yeah, that's fair.
And since he kind of went to bed, quote unquote, early, he only needs 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Recovery, so, you know, he could probably even be up by the time you're going to bed.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometime in there, you kind of reach him. He kind of walks outside of the main command tent that you all share.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's probably sleeping or resting in a relatively private area. Relatively. He has a flap that separates him from everybody else, I'm guessing.
Does he? I was just thinking one like kind of like a what is this called, like bell kind of tent. Enough for
Okay.
you guys to have like your own little, like, not even space, but enough room that you can have like your cot, like maybe a chest of your own shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's clearly like a large tent meant to house the important people of the expedition.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas everyone else then kind of either has their own tents or large tents to hold as a group. But they're not. They're very much like they're just kind of, it's for camping. They're crammed in a little.
Okay.
You guys definitely consider that you might not always have enough space to fully utilize some of these tents, but some of them are kind of made to be that way.
Mm-hmm. Then he's in his corner, just with his back towards the opening. You see him holding the symbol to Loth that he still has, and just kind of staring at it.
Real clear. So,
You see him lightning quick just stuff it underneath something, turn around, see it's you, and think, don't scare me like that. Do you know what these people would think if they saw me with that thing? God, they think they think a lot of things.
has Rogi ever seen you play with or mess around with that before?
Not really. You can tell Ghundra feels a little weird about it. He took it
did
from a
not
dying
know.
woman, so you know.
Yeah. I did not know that you still had one of those or poured over it.
I don't usually. I've been wondering about my place in all of this. I'm not like other drow,
No.
and I I wonder. I have been wondering if I am far enough from being like other drow that if I really have a place in. That's not why I was holding it. It's just I wasn't praying. That's what I'm getting at.
No. I did not expect you to be. But none of the other people are going to ask you, at least not in a way that they think will be quick enough. But something is bothering you, going on. What's up?
He immediately nervous at the not nervous like, but you can see him weighing things in his mind, whether or not to actually tell
Oh,
you.
come on. Even, for one thing, anything you tell me, I won't tell anyone. And for two, even if I did, who is going to trust what comes out of the mouth of a crazy old Durgar? Spores growing out of his head.
It doesn't matter if they don't believe you. It might. So, one of the ways I am unlike other drow is I hesitate. Do you understand what I mean by this?
He nods.
He does like he seemingly doesn't believe that nod. He doesn't believe anybody really understands him, so he explains it anyway.
I don't think I understand fully, but
Keeluth.
there were a few times, well, when you are surviving in a place like this, you learn very quickly that hesitation will often lead to death.
Keeluth just acts. He knows who he is and he just does things. He doesn't have to think about it. He doesn't worry about the complication. He doesn't freeze at the idea of having to commit. Just. We are going to
No?
go someplace that has a connection to my hesitation.
What do you mean?
There is a man. There is a man who works for the Zentarum, I know of, who 6, getting close to 7 years now, was briefly in Menzoberranzan. I never met him. I never saw him. I just heard his name. But while he was there, I believe he did something that changed my perspective about things. And that change in perspective is limiting me from being who I can be. I want to find him. That's it. I just want to see him.
Did he do to change your perspective?
He killed somebody that was very kind to me. Or he made someone else do it, or something. He was involved. I know he was involved. He's the only name who comes up. And now I can't just kill people who are getting my way. Loth is very clear about how we should act and how we should deal with people who impede us. I have been listening to her words since before I could even understand basic Undercommon. And ever since I've seen that body, anytime I think about killing somebody, I see him. And I want compensation. I want... And I'm just going to say, passive deception of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Compensation is a very, very strained metaphor. He wants something specific and he's avoiding saying it. And he's avoiding saying it because you're the one who's asking him.
Rogi will start poking guesses. You want to do what he did to the person who is kind to you? Do you want to kill him?
Gundra looks as if you have ruined a surprise that he was excited about telling you. I don't think that's what he's feeling, but that's the face he gives off. He's very disappointed
Oh.
that you guessed.
Sorry.
This
I'm
man
insightful.
This man works for the people out there. If any of them get a hint of this, they might try to stop it. This whole thing might go underground. I will not kill him while I am there. I promise you that. But I have been thinking of things. Ideas. Illusion's very powerful. And there is a small spark of hope within him. Or not hope, excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's talking shop now. Did you know that a humanoid mind, if they are told they are dying, even without any physical harm to the body, they can die?
Oh.
Phantasmal Killer is the most basic form of this. You create an image of a monstrous creature, and they think it's killing them, until it does.
Huh.
But there's better ways. There's ways you don't have to sit around and wait for it to happen. One of the most powerful place illusion magic has is the inside of a person's mind. And I have recently worked very hard to, well, I didn't invent it, but I have redeveloped a particular spell. All I need is to see him, understand who he is, and then wait for him to sleep. And then I can, well, I might not even have to kill him. You can tell that's a thing he said for you again. But I can get in his mind, and I can make him understand how it felt to walk into a door expecting to see a man who was overly kind for anybody in that damn city, and see him collapsed on the floor.
You want him to feel something.
I want him to be scared shitless. I want him to feel fear. And honestly, if that's not enough, yes, I might kill him. And I can kill him with the spell if I really need to. What I've been distracted with, what you might have seen, I have been setting the scene in my mind and running through it over and over. He picks up the symbol of love. That was actually what I was thinking with this. Do I have a right to cover him in spiders or create giant monstrous one in his dreams whenever I myself am... He kind of just stares at the symbol of law for a second. He tosses it into his bag. I was thinking about using something similar. Do you know of camel spiders? They're not true spiders, but they are similar enough people don't understand there's a difference. Possibly using
Which
that.
ones are those?
Camel spiders. Let me get up.
I'm on a picture.
Are they the ones that poison you and you slowly die from them, or
They're
are they
just-
the ones that look like that but don't actually do it?
They are...
Are those the ones you ride? No, those are different.
No, those are different.
Well,
it doesn't matter what they are. I was also thinking about
no.
harvest spiders, daddy long legs, as I've heard somebody. Also, not true spiders. They're kind of just oars with legs. It's very eerie.
Well, I have a few questions for you. One, this person, do you think they have any benefit to the world left? Or do you think that they are so evil and so terrible that they hinder the world?
I have not.
Ugh.
I will...
Camel spider.
Yeah. It's a nasty looking guy.
Motherfucker got 10 legs.
He,
That's not a spider.
No, he's only got 8 legs, and he's got 2 arms,
Yeah,
and 2 mouths,
yeah.
and 2 sets of teeth.
He needs to get his shit together.
Yeah, I'm actually afraid of these guys. Love spiders. Those guys creep me out, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, they look. I don't like their segmented backs more
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah, those bend, too. They're, like, bendy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
This is why Gundra was thinking of them. They are very terrifying things that vaguely emulate the idea of a spider.
No, that's terrible.
Gundra looks at you and very curtly just says, I have never met this man. I do not know a single thing about him. All I know is that he killed the man I am talking about, helped me out through a rough time. I was feeling useless, pointless. And he came to me and very stupidly said, You don't gotta worry about that man. Come hang out with me. I think he was a mercenary. All I ever saw him do was be. Do you have a? I think the surface term is man whore. He he
Mm.
he helped common women feel appreciated, and honestly, not directly, but gave me an appreciation for women that I was lacking in my youth. Uh,
This sounds like a very
Good.
wise man.
he was.
Sounds like growth.
Are you there?
Are you here?
Nope. That's just me.
Uh,
Talking in my sleep.
he,
Yeah.
he kept telling me over and over that I don't have to prove myself to anybody. That I'm an amazing person all by myself. A whole bunch of bullshit that you tell children to comfort them, but things I've never heard in my entire life. And it felt good to be lied to like that. It felt good to have somebody. You know what? I don't think he was lying. Honestly, now that I think about it, he probably genuinely believes that crap, that everybody's special and we don't owe ourselves to anybody. It's no reason. It's no surprise that he ended up dying. He's an idiot.
No. It is no surprise that he ended up dying, especially in the world and the towns that you lived in. But he is right. And, well, there are two things. One, whoever was capable of doing that to a being like the one you are describing is someone who, at minimum, needs to feel what that loss is like. And so, if there is any way that I can help you with this task, know that I am here. I can sneak in, I don't know, put something under his pillow or something if this makes your spell easier, but I think your goal is good, and I want to help you with it.
Gundra kind of thinks for a moment.
Secondly, that man who told you that you do not have anything to prove is right under certain circumstances. And we are living in those circumstances. Ghundra, we have, for some strange reason, gained the favor of a surface dwarven lord who should hate us. If we can do that, there is no telling where we may stop. And I felt very similarly to you did when I left Krakosto. I did not know what I was doing, where I was, what my purpose was. Inside those walls was all I knew. But I slowly started to realize that out in the wild by myself, I did not have to prove anything to anyone. And I didn't. And I still don't. The wild does not care how noble you are, or if you can act, or if you are good enough. It'll either kill you or you'll survive. And I get the impression that places that are not like Orakelstu and not like Menzoberranzan, you can be anything you want to be in these places. You are a weird drow, and I am a weird dwarkar. And we are around a bunch of very weird people. But we are also all doing this together. And once this is all done, you can do whatever you want. And so my other question for you is pursuing this person, is casting this spell on them, do you think it will make you feel better? Honestly.
An interesting question. I don't have an answer for you right now. I'll think about it.
Okay. Well,
I
think about it tonight all you want.
Uh,
But,
I
yes.
what you said resonated with me, so I think I'll be less cagey about this. You understand
Well,
this cannot leave. This information cannot leave here. I've already told you I'm planning on killing somebody, but
what information? I don't. I am an old man. Things leave
do
my
you
head
know the
very
man
quickly.
Gazrim Duloc, the man who has the information that we are seeking?
Yes.
It's him.
Ah.
Understandably, this changes things and might cause us problems. Be aware of
Well.
that. And if you want to
Very well.
help, I need a piece of him to make sure he can't resist.
Ah, that I can do.
Hair is probably the easiest, but if you manage to get a vial of blood or nail clippings or some nonsense, I won't shirk it
Ooh.
away.
Okay. Okay. This is a fun mission.
I
But with these things, we are now, as I'm sure you know, we are back in the wild.
Yes.
And I need you to be the most unburdened version of you that you can. So spend the night thinking about this. But the second that we set out tomorrow, have your plan, know how you will act, and do not think about it again until we find him. Because I will need you and your incredibly sharp mind at full out there. We all will.
Gundra's just been nodding at this. You can definitely see it in his mind. He's now categorizing like, oh, I was not operating as I should have been, and he's kind of rethinking things.
And I know you are probably tired of hearing it, but that is one of the best things and the best reasons to meld.
I knew it.
It
I knew this was coming.
gives you an opportunity to feel everything, to think things through, and to just process whatever you're feeling at once, so that you can shove it down again until next time you meld. I do not think you need to meld in order to do this, but there are times to feel and there are times to not.
Well,
So feel while you can.
Uh.
But we may be coming to a point where feeling is not going to be helpful. At least for a little while.
Thank you so much, Rogi, for stealthily insisting I meld with you again.
I will never not do this.
I am becoming starkly aware of that. Thank you.
The option is always there.
Of course it is. It's always there. It's always going to be hanging over my head, and I'll never escape it. Thank you. You can go sleep.
But I will never force you to. All right, good night.
I hope one day Gundra fucking melds. Just
Ghundra runs up to him just real quick and just like gets real close, like, he was a stupid man, but I think he would have loved to meet you. It's unfortunate that will never happen. And then he goes back to his room.
Oh. Rogi goes to sleep happy.
Okay. Frankie, at some point, while you kind of have a moment alone, the sun sword kind of chimes in your head. So, we're gonna be going back in the dark
Yeah, yeah.
again.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Oh god. Okay. Uh, Frankie,
What?
I don't think I'm ready to go back there. I spent thousands of years in darkness. I got through it because I know we were gonna get out of it, but I don't know if I can go back down there again. I know it's my job. It's what I was made to do. Go into the dark places of the world and bring light. I don't know if I can do this.
Let me tell you something. When I got home after we escaped the first time,
That was real nice. I
I
like
told
that.
my wife I'm never going back. You know what she said?
What?
She said, Frankie, you're going back. And look at where we are now.
How did she know?
I don't know. She says things and they happen.
Oh,
She's like the only person on this planet who I'll listen to every single time. Moral of the story, we're going back.
but do I have to go back? I guess I don't
Well,
have a choice.
Frankie loves his wife.
I guess I
no,
don't.
he fears his wife.
Fear and love are simply the same emotion.
I know this.
This is Keyloof talking.
I just. Okay. I will try my best to fight that evil in the darkness, but I'm not confident. I'm terrified.
I mean, between yous and me, I don't think either of us is gonna fight anything while we're down here.
You don't?
Oh, do you see the people we're surrounded by?
I mean, yeah.
Their lives are fighting.
Okay.
I just own a tavern, and I make some bad deals sometimes.
Oh, I don't like those. You bring it up, but I hate that.
You don't like bad deals?
I don't like the bad deals you make.
Well, neither do I, but if I didn't make the bad deal that got me down here in the first place, you'd still be wherever I found you,
Guess that's
in
true.
some old crypt. But don't get me wrong, I'm happy I have you, because I don't know how to use a sword. You just burn people, and that's awesome.
Well, it's more than burning, but I get what you mean. All right. I'm gonna. I'll try my best. If it gets too dark, you'll activate. You'll turn on my blade, right?
I know what you're trying to say.
You'll turn me on, please.
Oh no.
Be normal.
Well, I was, and then Frankie made it weird.
I heard you trying to reroute it. Yeah, don't worry. If it gets too dark, I'll activate you.
Okay.
Nobody else is gonna like it, but actually no.
Most
All the
people are
soldiers
going to
might
like it
like it.
now. Yeah.
Actually, you're one of now the Drow and the Durgar are outnumbered. Everyone may have most of them may have dark vision, but no one has sunlight sensitivity except them.
It's fine. Frankie's in the middle. We'll just keep her distance.
Mhm.
I mean, the
Yeah,
idea is you probably will be quite a distance.
Yeah.
Frankie can literally just be a shining beacon if we get into a real throwdown situation.
Mm-hmm. My idea is your formation is actually split up probably by like a good, like the scouts are probably like a mile and a half ahead.
Rest of
But
us are in like a big 50-foot cluster.
yeah, maybe even bigger than that.
It'll probably depend on the spacing of the
Well, yeah, it'll depend a lot on the
If
space.
it
cavern.
But I think if
closes
you
up,
have,
we're right on each other's asses.
yeah, that might end up happening at certain points. But
Touching butts in the Underdark.
ooh, who doesn't like that?
Keyleth specifically loves this.
But with this, let's Thodane, Keyleth, do you have anything you want to do before taking a final rest?
um. Sure. You know what?
Okay, all right, I like it. I like it. I'm about this.
Let's go around and personally introduce myself to everyone we're traveling with.
Everyone?
Everyone. I'm assuming people are in multiple groups, so you don't have to do one-on-one role plays for every character.
Okay, so let's say which group you're going for.
Um. Well, first off, start off with the Zentarum thugs. Of course, assert himself as main guy and also
I got you.
uh
Yeah.
lover of.
I had sex with your boss, by the way.
Who hasn't?
Ooh.
I feel like she's a choosy woman. She
No,
she
she
has
definitely is.
standards, though
She
she's
definitely is.
not.
She likes to take a break from her job, so to speak. But you know, no, just any sap.
She's not reckless. Uh, so yeah, introduce himself to them. Uh, I think when interacting with the Zentarum thugs, it's very much more like setting a tone of superiority, but like not in their face about it as much as Keyleth can manage to not be in their face about it.
Okay. Yeah, let's say you walk up to, let's say, I don't know, the main group in the front. We'll say Eandro.
Leandro.
This guy right here.
Ah, there he is.
Yeah. He's just kind of sitting there. He's kind of like barking orders at some of these other guys. Even Cousin Vinny, who's just kind of like, I deserve more than this. But he's not high up in that pecking order. He just thought you get a sense after maybe watching him for a bit that Cousin Vinny at one point thought he was going to be in a higher position because got Frankie here.
I mean, Cousin Vinny needs to fight for himself. That's how it works with these things.
Yeah, so it's very much like he you could tell when he's like lifting gear, setting up tents. He's like, fucking bullshit. I should have been at the top. I got Frankie here. And then Andrew's just like, get back to work. Stop mumbling.
So,
So you're
you're
the one
the
in charge, so to speak.
that I am.
Mm.
How many scouting trips have you done down into the Underdark?
A few. Been to Mantle Dareth and back several times.
Alright, so the bare minimum of the easiest stuff, but it's
Right.
probably a lot more than a lot of the people around here.
Unfortunately, and he's kind of like eyeing up some of the Lord's Alliance guards and the spies.
The spies with their fancy cheeses.
Yeah.
You ever
Yeah.
seen any of these people in action before?
Not particular. You talking about from my men or from the others?
Keyleth just kind of shrugs and implying any answer is acceptable.
Most of us here, aside from a few, and he kind of looks at Cousin Vinny, have made trips down to Mantle there. As for the rest of these, I don't know, Schmucks. I couldn't tell you. Those men in the plate armor over there, they look real nice, but who knows what's gonna happen when shit gets real.
Keith just kind of smirks and chuckles at that a bit. Absolutely. Well,
Speaking of which, I don't know how any of you are gonna do when shit gets real.
have you
look a
not
little-
heard the story of the way we clawed our way from the bowels of the Underdark all the way up to
Yeah.
the surface?
Yeah, a lot of that kind of shit has a tendency to be exaggerated. And no
Of
offense, but you look a
course.
little
But
too
whenever you want to
strong.
piss yourself, come near me and I'll guard you. So
Uh,
long as you know, are convenient to keep alive. And he kind of just like says it in a sort of lighthearted tone.
right, uh-huh. Yeah, you look a little too strong to be helping out anyone, if I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, watch me. And Keyleth will go ahead on to the next group then.
Okay. Go to like
Lord's Alliance.
guards or spies or any of them.
Is it possible to do both at once?
Oh, sure.
Nah, screw the guards. They look wimpy. I'm just gonna
No.
stick with the spies.
Alright. We'll go with Zelina Oakshadow.
Is she in the front as well?
She's in the back, actually, next to you guys. Yeah,
Oh, I
right
read
there.
that as
Top.
Dark Shadow because the
Oh.
health bar was in front of the part
Yeah.
of the O. Well met there.
Hi. Do you need anything?
I'm introducing myself and getting to know everyone that we're traveling with.
Nah. Anything any of my men can do for you?
Oh, I'm just wondering how experienced you all are in the Underdark. I want to know what I can expect from you all and what I need to have patience for.
Oh, let's see. I think none of us is true. We've all been underground, of course, at one point or another.
Mm-hmm.
We stepped along the borders of the Underdark, but I've never really truly gone down into it.
He just kind of nods at this. Well, we'll be in the flank positions together, and I'll do my best to point out anything of concern, so you seem to be the intelligent sorts. I'm sure you'll pick up the pace fast, even though
I don't think you have to worry about us.
this is a place where one misstep can lead to instant death.
Well, I'm sure you drow would know plenty about that.
He smiles. Oh, we're the best at it.
Yeah.
But don't worry. We're on the same side in this.
Mm,
And by we, I mean as a personal me, not we as in the drow.
yeah.
So many surface people tend to lump us drow all together, and I want to make it very clear I only speak for myself. And Ghundra, of course.
Of course. Sure. Well, no offense, but I think we'll rely on our own eyes to watch our backs.
Is this person human?
Nope. She's dwarf.
Oh, a dwarf. Okay. I was about to be like, your own eyes in the Underdark. Yeah, Keith will just like nod at that. What do you think of the rest of the groups here?
Few unsavory types. Most of you have a few screw looses.
Even
Can't
the
say.
veterans of the gauntlet?
They look shiny, but that's about it. Probably mostly just meatheads.
He nods at that.
And the thugs over there look like the most meatheads I could ever imagine.
Oh, absolutely. It'll definitely pay you well to stay away from them in combat. The loud, noisy
Oh.
types. Oh, yes. The loud, noisy types tend to attract the most beasts. And, well, it would be unfortunate for one as valuable as you to end up as collateral damage because of the missteps of a meathead.
I guess I agree. What's your ploy here, Doral?
Keeping you alive, of course.
Yeah.
You know, the best part about giving surfacers advice is that they never believe that it's in a drow's best interest to keep someone alive other than
Look,
themselves, but frequently it is.
I'm a shield dwarf born and raised. Okay, the underground is nothing new to me.
Glad to hear it then. Keyleth will leave. Veterans of the Gauntlet next.
You walk up to Thora. She just eyes you very warily. You can almost see like there's a reaction to like she looks like she's getting comfortable, but you as a warrior yourself, kind of she's subtly holding her weapon, kind of in case you strike. Just trying to make it look as nonchalant as possible. Arms crossed, hand reached over.
He, like, makes a point with his eyes to, like, stare at, like, her weapon and then, like, slowly just look back up at her and just smile widely and say, "Good. Those instincts will keep you alive down here."
Mm.
How many campaigns have you ventured down here before?
There's a long pause before she finally answers. Plenty.
He nods at this. I'm curious to know if they were against any of my people or not.
Many of them were.
He nods and, like, his smile is definitely more forced on his face at this point. Well, hopefully none of them were my father that you've killed, no doubt, in your successes.
What a shame that would be.
Yes, what a shame. Anyways, how do you feel with this sort of large group of, well, for lack of a better word, new, well, fresh lambs?
There's like a look of disgust when you say that. I'm not happy about it. Especially with all of you leading. Not even a fan of that half elf over there. For too many unsavory rumors.
The half elf?
Mm-hmm. Referring to Frankie.
Ah, yes.
Did you forget Frankie was a half elf?
Keyleth forgot Frankie was a half elf.
The pointed ears didn't give it all. Didn't give it away.
Some humans have pointed ears. It happens.
Some humans have
Not like
pointed
you.
ears.
Not like you.
He's a half elf. They're not really pointed, you know?
That's more than a normal human, for sure.
I
But
could
what's a
just
normal
be...
human, really?
Sure, okay.
Well, I'm not exactly going to strut around here and pretend like I will ever
You alright over there, Gavin? You on a phone call over there, buddy?
No, I was checking Snapchat and didn't realize it
No.
wasn't muted.
I was like, is he making a phone call all of a sudden? All right.
I'm not exactly going to pretend that I am ever going to meet whatever standards you were given the opportunity to be raised in, but I am curious as to what you think of the rest of the types around here.
I think most of them are just as bad as you.
He nods at that.
You have no camaraderie here. No brothers in arms. No sisters in arms.
And that's going to be an absolute problem once we start feeling the effects of the demon lords.
Yeah.
I have a feeling paranoia is going to tear this place apart.
Well, we'll be fine.
He just kind of like looks over at that and just kind of like looks to the shield guardian and looks back at them. And then like looks around to all the other people and then looks back at them.
Her eyes never leave you.
I can only hope you will be. For my own sake, of course.
Yeah. For your own sake.
Alright, I think that's everybody.
Okay. I mean, there's the Emerald Enclave.
You get to know them.
The elves up in the front. Rogi can deal with those.
Actually, they
People
are
like
dwarves.
Rogi. What?
They are dwarves, but their tokens
Their
look.
pictures are elves, though.
I know. It's the
I don't
standard
know if
picture for
you-
Emerald Enclave.
You've been tricked.
Yeah, it's the standard picture like token for the Emerald Enclave scout, but these are dwarves.
I also don't know if people like Rogi. That feels like a bold statement.
Compared to Keelu.
Keeluth
Yeah, like-
is
Everything is relative.
They're
Keeluth.
both
people are
pretty
sus-
off-putting.
Keeluth is suspicious. Like people are suspicious of us on like a low level, and Keeluth likes to fucking make fun of that or like just poke at that like sort of stuff. Like that entire conversation, I made a joke. Morale drops by 5. I genuinely believe these people are more suspicious of specifically Keeluth because he's making moves, air quotes.
He's talking with people.
Yeah, that's called planning.
No. Planning is what you do before you talk to people.
You're crafting a web, you vicious little spider. They're not gonna get caught in it.
Yeah, just to point out the names of these Emerald Enclave scouts: Brim Coppervein,
Mm-hmm.
Thargus Forkbeard, and Griswalla Stonehammer.
Those sound like elven names, for sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
those are definitely dwarves.
I know the Emerald Enclave has elven members, but none of them were in the fucking Dwarven City.
Yeah. Like I said, besides maybe a lot of like some of the Lords Alliance people, most of these people, well, I think most of the Zentarum guys are human.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a good chunk of them are just dwarves.
Nice. No elves coming down?
There might be
No
a half
elves,
elf.
I don't think.
Probably for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure none of these guys are elves when I look at them.
We might have a half elf, but they have a very human name if that's the case.
The
Yeah.
human name is Frankie.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
potentially Vinny.
Vinny got any elf in him?
Yeah, what's Vinny like? Is he half elf, he human?
You're muted if you are answering.
Frankie!
Oh yeah, he's half elf.
Oh.
He's half elf too? Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, he's my wife's brother, but I call him cousin Vinny anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll just say, you know, he's got some half elf trait in him. He can have dark vision.
Mm, that's good.
So Dane, anything you would like to do? So Dane,
Yeah.
Rio,
Rio, awaken.
Awaken!
I
Awaken! Awaken!
said lightning bolts at you.
Da-da-da-da!
You need to dodge them. Oh no!
Rio. Oh, Rio.
I blame the music.
Nagathaya!
I blame the music. It's too calm. Put on
Hang
poop
on.
music.
Yeah, just give him a quick phone call. I don't know how he does this. He takes a nap before he joins.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we are 15 minutes to 11.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's fine. No one has work, right?
May have work.
I'm
I actually
moving my
don't.
aunt's fridge tomorrow.
I finally don't have work.
We
Well,
can
you
hear
better
his
catch it.
I
phone.
can hear his phone.
What a bastard.
Good.
How does he sleep through that?
I don't know.
If he woke up, I was gonna ask him if that was the angry video game nerd theme as a rib.
Oh, there he is. How you doing, buddy? Are you awake? I heard you make a sound.
Bananas?
Rio.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have been talking about you, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact.
I was
Yeah.
making a joke about how your ringtone sounds like a fucking gamer
Oh.
intro.
We know you fell asleep. Don't play it off like you were.
You're saying that it sounds accurate.
What?
You got fucking angry video game nerds ringtone on your fucking. Anyways, we all did our things. Do you have anything you want to do before we head into these funny tunnels?
I do not.
Okay, let's
You
go.
While you
wanna
were
go back-
asleep, we actually defeated the Demogorgon already.
Yeah, he came up and we were like, fuck.
We're on the way back.
Great.
Yeah, campaign over. What do you want to do for your epilogue?
Become Santa.
Oh,
Start
don't
the
get
next
me started
campaign.
on the epilogue.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm not worried about it. You'll
Ah.
just fall asleep before we get there.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Bastard. My game not entertaining enough for you?
We are talking a lot. Let's get into a fight so he can be awake for that and have to think
Yeah,
about
we've
things.
done that before. He's fallen asleep during fights.
Well, yeah, but it seems harder for
Yeah.
him to fall asleep during fights.
Fucking bullshit. You can just tell us when you're tired, buddy.
No.
Whoa.
No.
Pass out.
I've also come to the impression that Rio doesn't feel tired. His body is just like, well, time to sleep, and he flicks a switch and he's gone.
Basically. Well, you wake up in the morning. And finally, you make your descent back into the Underdark. Here's a nice little art.
Oh,
Ooh.
who the fuck is that?
You guys.
I'm not any of these people.
Yeah. That's none of us.
I can't help that.
That's true.
I did. So, I don't have any art of any of you together as doing things.
Daniel,
We'll commission
redraw
5
it.
artists.
Yeah. What'd you realize, Gavin? What?
I said, Daniel, redraw it.
No, fuck, it would look like shit.
That's fine.
Like
You can
stick
do it.
figures, but worse.
You can do it.
Oh, I can't.
I
I
believe
like
in
that
you.
this is what they think the party is.
Mostly the guys in the back. But you basically have 200 miles until you get to good old Mantle Dareth.
These
You notice
people all pack their own supplies, right?
Yeah.
you have a variety of people carrying supplies, tents, everything.
I
For the
can also
most-
cast Goodberry now, so
Oh, okay. That's gonna feed some of
10
you.
of us.
Yeah. So yeah, supplies go bad, Clearly you have a man who can feed everybody.
Actually, with all my spell slots, I probably could feed everyone.
And then be useless.
Don't
yes,
worry.
yes,
D&D's
indeed.
D&D's balanced around a 4-player party. Just make food.
Make food. Just feed everyone, Rogi. Can you make a chef meal out of a good berry?
Probably.
I don't think you can, but
No.
I really don't think that's how that works. But that's a funny idea. Is you put like garnish on there. You
Yep.
slice it maybe like a tiny little centimeter across the top and put like a flake of something in it.
God.
Look, it's delicious. Anyways, the initial travel down the tunnels is surprisingly steep, as it makes like no efforts conceal that it is just going down and down and down into the darkness. Torches are out, of course, by this point. The Sun Sword is your shining beacon amongst this whole group. Your scouts are already taken off. Using their giant riding lizards, they are able to quickly get ahead about the mile and a half that they need to start scouting. But you're finally back. And almost immediately,
Damn.
you five start to feel that oppressive gloom and that unearthly madness start to kind of press upon your minds. Getting out of it for these 3 months is kind of a month and a half for Rogi, but for this time away, you now realize you were feeling better. It's only going back in that you start to feel like something's wrong. It's much more palpable now. And with that, we'll end tonight's game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll call it here.